I'm so excited to have you guys today. And we're talking about budget, AI, marketing, all that fun stuff. I think it's all intertwined. So I'm Kaylee Felio, and then Melissa, we have Charity. Like, we're just going to talk. Okay. So let's dive into, I feel like in my heart right now, it's pulling me to talk about AI. Everyone's talking about it. We kind of have
Big
to.
topic.
It's such a big topic and it's super annoying too.
Why is it annoying?
It's annoying because it's just like everyone is so fixated and fascinated by it. And it is fascinating. Like there's so many areas of our lives and our jobs that it improves. Um, but I think what I want to talk about is like when is it actually hurting? And then this goes into budget too, because it's like we were just talking about how marketing it's like not valued the same. And then everyone's like, well, now there are all these marketing experts out there because they have chat GPT.
Yeah.
That's basically what's happening. So let's talk about it. How can you like when is it actually hurting you?
Yeah. I think in general, like everybody like that I've seen on LinkedIn have leveled up. Like the post quality has gone up, the spelling and grammar has improved because everybody's running it through AI now. So I don't know if in general it's impacted our intelligence as a people, but or if it's just become a tool that everybody uses. And so here's my theory running forward, because everybody has access to it, to AI, because everybody can use it, it levels the field for everyone. So my prediction is that over time people will become very numb to it. So marketers especially are going to have to find ways to get out of the AI and look more human.
That's the biggest thing right now. That's the like shift because we're all using it and now it's like so generic and not human feeling. And I think the best way right now, even though with video you can replicate and create AI video, but you still know. You like still know like this whole conversation, we could program and do some stuff and it'll produce a conversation that we want to say in AI, but we won't look like really us, I don't think, right?
Yeah.
No, we'll be
Well,
too
our,
perfect.
our thumbnail pictures from past episodes prove that. Like,
Goodness.
we
Yeah.
all never look like ourselves in those
Well,
pictures.
it doesn't really look like us, and then it
Hmm.
also doesn't really sound like us. So I think my point of pointing this out is that something I've been really pushing myself to do is just off the cuff, just videos because those are real. And even when I sit down and write, even if I'm running it through AI, it's like it still isn't real anymore. So
Yeah.
that's what I think that's the thing. You have a good point. It's how do you pull the human out of it and be more human?
Yeah. It
Well, do
takes
you think
the
people are using
personality
it?
out.
Yeah.
Sorry,
Do you
Melissa.
think people are using that's okay. Do you think people are using it as, hey, I need a LinkedIn post. Just give me one. Or are like me, I use it daily, right? It does make me just feel better when I put things out there, but it's my idea. I type up a whole post and say, make this better. Right. So it's my idea. It's my post. He's just fixing it up for me. And yes, mine has a name. Its name is George. Um, do you think that some people aren't actually putting they're using it to be their brain too? They're not even coming up with their own thoughts?
I think there's a good mix of both going on. I think some people do say, "Hey, create me this post about this event coming up and here's, they just screenshot the dates and the location and all that and it spits something out." What I found when I write content and then give it to AI, it turns it into AI for me. And I don't want it to be. So I have to specifically say to it, "Don't change my words or my tone. Leave my mistakes in there, like, just fix this portion of it," or whatever it is that I'm looking for. But I think people do use it to just create posts, create documents, create words. And a lot of times when I read things that come out of AI, they don't even really make sense. Like if you're actually reading it to understand, it's like, what does that even mean? It's so generic and bland that you can't even tell exactly how it applies to what they're talking about.
And way too much detail. I feel like it's like overdoing it. It's like, can we just make this simple and stop adding all these crazy what it delve into and like whatever words
Yeah.
it uses? I love
Yeah,
the
well,
dull
it
form.
does, like, cliffhangers, right? It says it's like, if you're making a post about inspiration, it'll say, "Well, maybe you're not gonna do it today," and then it'll bump down a line or 2, and it'll say, "Maybe you're not gonna do it tomorrow," bump down a line or 2. "Maybe you're not gonna do it next week," bump down a line or 2. "Maybe you're not gonna do it next month," blah, blah, and it's kind of repeating itself to plug in more characters, maybe? Maybe that's why it's doing that?
Cliffhanger person anyway, so I think nothing of it in the AI. I'm one of those ones that like to do the dot, 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 like
Yeah,
cliffhanger, dot,
the
dot, dot.
ellipses.
Yeah, so I don't think anything of it when I see that in AI, but it's funny, yeah, because some people can really tell an AI written post, and I'm not one that can. Like, sometimes, but I can't spot them a mile away. I know Charity, you can spot them
You
right away.
can, for sure. And I love AI. AI has removed my need for an assistant. I'll give you a really good example. We had a podcast with someone a while back, and we had a list of questions that we asked him, and we didn't go through all of them. And there were one that he's like, ask me again next time. There were a couple of those. So I would have to, in the old days, go through, watch the episode again to find the questions that I asked him and he answered, and then find the ones that he asked us to ask him next time, which would have taken me a couple hours to go through and do that. And this time, I just uploaded the transcript and pasted a copy of the questions, and I said, which ones do we not ask him? And it spit it right back out in 5 seconds, and it saved me, like, 2 hours of time, and it's completely eliminated my need for an assistant who would be doing things like that, doing that busy work that needs to be done. So, it's a great tool all around.
Yeah,
It really
same
is.
here. But it lies sometimes and it
Oh,
makes
yeah.
things up. I don't know how many times I've had to go, where did you get that from? And he will actually say, I assumed. Sorry, you're right. I assumed.
Assume ever.
Yeah. So you do have to make sure, because I think some people put things through and then just rely on it to be accurate. You do really need to do some
Yeah. Like, if
proofing.
you're putting together a presentation and you're pulling data, you have to really be careful, because some people will call you out on stuff like that, like, "Oh, that's not an accurate statistic. Where did that come from?" So you have to ask it for sources, and sometimes it can provide them, sometimes it can't.
Yeah, the stats that I have to like we really have to research if we're gonna put some numbers out and stats. I'm like, I'm not just gonna have them produce or them, I say them. It's a bunch of mini little AIs in the back. What are you guys using for your AI? Because that was one thing. Like, there's so many more options out there now, and then I think some of them are really good at certain things, better at certain things. I guess.
Yeah. I would say I'm using ChatGPT just for I've tried to use it for design and that kind of stuff, and it's not great at that at all.
Mhm.
But I don't need it for that very often. So I haven't explored if there are any that are good with design and coming up with images and things like that.
Think there are some, I don't use them. I think the people I work with use us, but I've heard Claude is better with marketing, and I haven't tested that out yet. I'm like so attached to my chat GPT because I've been using it for so long that I'm like, there's so much in there that it just knows me. It's like,
Yes, exactly. It's hard to switch. Like, we've just spent the last year and a half, 2 years getting to know each other. We formed a relationship.
Yeah.
He knows so much about me. I have to start all over. I don't wanna do that.
yeah. But
Wonder if you could export your conversation history and upload it into a new AI so your AI is trained by your old AI.
True, true.
yeah, I'm sure
I
there's
can
a way.
tell you my chat's pretty good at images. I use it for my other business where I do laser engraving, and I sometimes will ask him for images, and he knocks it out of the park. He does really great ones. So
Yeah.
maybe once they learn what you're wanting out of things, they can do better with it. But it's
Yeah.
black and white images, right? It's sketches versus like actual photos.
Yeah,
That
people
makes
is where it's tough. It's tough. When you ask it to reproduce a person, it doesn't look like the same person anymore. And I recently learned that that's because it's creating that image of that person from scratch. It's not taking the one that you gave it and modifying it, which is a huge difference.
and it just modify. That's so weird to me. I mean, they're using it with video in movies. Like, there's some of the scenes in movies are not real, they are AI. So it's like, it's possible to create the person. So
I have
scary.
not tried the video, but of course, I'm on YouTube. I've seen other people using it, and you can tell that it's AI, of course, but it has gotten quite a bit better. But just like the person will be in the wrong spot, like it'll show a
The
conversation between
Bible
people and
reader.
one person's facing the wrong way. It's just kind of funky stuff like that. That's kind of strange still.
You know what's funny that we're talking about this? Think about when we got, like, the iPhone first came out. I remember, like, how archaic it was and just so clunky and weird, and then it's like, okay, this is the same thing happening with AI. And how many years are we in it? I mean, I know AI has been around for a long time, but, like, actually people are talking and using it the way they're using it. Like, it's moving so fast and improving, like, look how long it's taken to get, like, the iPhone updated and better. Like, how many years has it been? It's gotta been, like, 20 years? Over 20 years?
Yeah, about that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When did it
Yeah.
come out? I was in high school, I know that. It was like,
I don't remember. I
Kaylee
don't
makes
sorry,
me
remember.
feel old when she
sorry,
makes these comments. I remember when I got my first pager.
I
I
do.
was in high school.
I did not get a pager. I do remember my dad having a pager, but I did not. Okay, my first one was a flip phone, okay? It wasn't an iPhone, so it
Yeah.
was in 8th grade.
I mean, can you imagine what AI is gonna look like in 10 years? I mean, I would assume it would be impossible to tell the difference at that point.
It's gonna be in the next couple of years because 'cause we're already there. There's things like I said, in movies, there's directors that are they use AI and that they input that into the scenes, and they don't even really need actors anymore.
Well, then there's the scary part of it where they say if you like us doing this podcast, so anybody could take this video, pop it into AI and have create a video of us saying anything that they want. That's where it gets a little scary when they can create something that looks very realistic with your own image.
Yeah, there
Yeah.
has to be some laws and things in, like, place,
Yeah.
right? Like,
It's like
eventually?
the internet. The internet came out and the laws took very long to take effect and for them to build the laws to protect people there. And I don't even know if they're there now.
No, they're not. It's gonna be like it's gonna take one person, "Oops, we probably should have that in place. Oops, their
And
life is now we gotta control
They'll
this."
they'll care when it affects them. When someone takes a video of a politician and makes them saying something that they don't like, that's when the laws will come.
yeah, unfortunately, technology like you said, it grows so fast that the laws just can't keep up with it.
Yeah.
But I do know, which this is a good thing, because somehow I came upon this. I wanted a picture of a father and a daughter, and they told me it couldn't create anything with children in it. So I was like, okay,
Yeah.
well, it has boundaries. So that's great.
Yeah,
I like that.
I like hearing
Yeah.
that. There's boundaries.
Yeah, I've been working on Russell's book for a long time, and there's some, controversial topics in there. And I went in to ask it, like, what is a typical response to like abuse as a child? Like, what are some of the mental health effects and things like that? And it wouldn't talk to me. It was like, you've broken my standards, my community standards. I was like, really? I
Wow.
didn't know. Yeah.
I wonder if you went onto the internet and searched, like, because you can search and it populates the AI overview or whatever. I wonder and then it provides links of, like, resources, like, right? Like,
Yeah.
that's where it's, like, not making stuff up, and it's like, these are people actually well, maybe, I don't know. Now I'm, like, digressing.
Yeah.
It's
Well,
the
even,
same thing. It's pulling stuff from multiple web pages, right? It's summing up
yeah.
all of the search results.
It's doing the research for you, basically, when we used to have to, like, go through, like, 10, 20 different pages, validate all the sources, and, like, okay, now I'm going to summarize myself what I think out of all this information. It's basically pulling all of that and, like, then, "Okay, here you go. You decide now." Now that I've summarized it and simplified it.
Yeah. So Google search results are already very filtered. So there are certain things that you just can't find on Google. And I'm curious as to how that will look over time with AI. What will the information that we have access to become a tiny little portion of the internet?
That's interesting. Also, the other thing that I just thought of is like, then it becomes controlled. Like, what do whoever controls it all? What do they want us to see? It's not the
Mhm.
access of, because I do remember having to go, like, we had a whole bookshelf of encyclopedias, and like when I wanted to know something, my mom's like, "Go get the encyclopedia to figure it out." So I'm not
Yeah.
that I'm not that young. But that was like, I guess that was controlled in a way too, because someone produced that encyclopedia and that's whatever it was. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, that's actually kind of a neat point, Kaylee. I never thought about it that way, but you're right. Because I do read only the summary. I'm a headline reader anyways. I look for something and I read the headlines versus reading the whole article. So I love the summary, but
I do too.
now I'm gonna question it.
It's controlled.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It
who pays
is.
them the most with all their ads and whatever,
Yeah.
whatever they did.
It's it's freaky, and it's controlled by kind of the wrong people, It's like these top level tech guys, whereas it should be like elected officials. So it's kinda interesting where the control is going in society.
That's a whole 'nother topic. Oh my gosh.
I
We're like
know.
we're peeling all the layers of everything. Right? We didn't really talk about like well, it is all marketing, right? Like,
Yeah.
I guess the question is, will like the role of a marketing I guess the role isn't gonna go away, but how do we see that actually changing? Like, as a marketing person right now, how can we use AI and how is that role actually changing? It's a different role, I guess, kind of.
Yeah. Well, I don't know about you guys, but I think, if everybody's using AI, if all marketers are using AI, then all the marketing is going to look very similar across all companies. So that goes with my theory that eventually at some point you'll have to break from that and become more human again.
What is the best marketing out there that we like? Just what do we like? What do we like to see? When you look at all the companies, not just in auto, like which ones are you like, man, you're doing a good job. They're just knocking it out of the park. You feel the brand, you want to be part of the brand. Like what are some of the ones you guys can name off just thinking about it? And I'm gonna put it on you guys because I have to think for a second.
Why don't you go, Melissa?
You know, you 2 are the marketing experts where that's not my expertise. So I guess when I'm watching commercials and stuff, I don't think about
You
stuff
don't
like
think about
that.
that stuff?
You
I don't
don't.
think about it's not something that
Interesting.
stands out to remember for me. Because
Okay.
it's not my. I do dabble in marketing only because I dabble in everything in the company, but it's not my expertise to where it's like the only thing I think about to
But you as a consumer, what are some brands that pop into your head that you're just like, they just do a good job? You feel like, you know, you wanna be part of that. You wanna use them, you wanna be there, I don't know, they do a good job. Is there anything that you don't have to say if it's embarrassing and I don't know? Working for it. I don't know.
come back
Um,
to me on that one.
I'm
I
trying
don't
to
know.
Well, but commercials, I don't know about you guys,
I
but
really
they
like
drive me insane.
Oh, yeah.
Commercials are so silly all the time, but I would say, and I'm not going to name any names, but if I look across the industry, the ones that admire are the ones that have everything together. Like their website looks great, their social media content looks great, their emails are interesting and they cause you to open them. They're fun and creative. Those are the ones that I admire.
Yeah, I would say the same thing. The ones that like they're fun with it and you want to read the emails because it's not like selling, it's just information and like and I'm thinking like outside the industry too, like someone not even just commercials, just brands that I'm like, man, I really like them and they're really cool. I guess the one that's coming to mind is like Vans because I wore them as a kid and they're still cool. Like and then they're basic too, like all their the style, all of hasn't really changed. I mean, some of it's changed a little bit, but I just feel like they do a really good job with like as a consumer of
So I think what you're describing, Kaylee, are brands that create a community around them. So it's not about selling a product all the time. It's not about, just kind of shoveling out marketing. It's about creating a following dedicated to your brand because they love the people behind it. They love how fun it is. They're committed to the brand
That's
as
so true.
opposed to just clicking on marketing, which I think you and I both know is really hard to get people to click on just marketing, for marketing's sake.
It's a community. Yeah, because I guess Vans, I mean, they're not even that great for kids. Like, they wear them out like nothing, especially if you don't have brakes on their bikes, like, because we have the
Yep.
Strider, but they're so cool.
And they look cute. They
They
look
look
cute, and
cute.
they've developed a community, right? People
Yeah.
love to be part of the brand.
Yeah, and I think that goes back to it. It's like we are the year what are they saying, the year of the human, whatever, but, like, that's really what we're looking for is like, that community and the humanness and the connection of to all the different brands and things that we're doing.
Yeah. And then it's hard to fake that. It's hard to build that. You really need a personality to bring forward to get that involvement and investment from your customers, turn them into a following. And, people used to try to do that and they still sometimes do with like celebrity endorsements and things like
Even
that.
those are not even that good anymore. Everyone's like,
Yeah.
yeah, because when
It
I
doesn't work.
then again, though, if I see a celebrity I like using a product, I am more inclined to do some research and, like, really look at it. Because 'cause I'm like, "Well, they make it look really good. I
Yeah.
wanna try that out."
And you would probably not say no if Jay Leno asked to be on your podcast.
Yeah, I probably would. I would be like I would show up like, "Oh, what are we gonna talk about today?" No, that would I would probably try to prepare for.
So, I mean, in smaller ways, I think celebrity endorsements are still that's still a human, but if it's overplayed or it seems sort of fake, it has to be natural. You can't just throw a celebrity in and pay him 20 grand to say something for you. It has to come from the heart and it has to have soul.
Yes, soul and strategy too. I think there you can't just like you said, you can't just plug them in to say something, like, there has to be some strategy, there has to be some, like, overtime nurturing and doing some things with it, like and then maybe that's the next conversation we talk about next week is, like, the whole, like, sponsoring and going on, medias and those types of things, like, that's a big thing in our industry, in all industries, really, right? Like, when is it still authentic, and when does it actually work? How much do you
Yeah.
bet? Like, is it worth it? Those types of
Yeah,
things.
because you can pay some top dollar to be on some media platforms, and does it get you anything? I mean, it's tough, it's tough, and I would argue at that point, you're really doing it for branding purposes, you're really doing it to reach a wider audience is what you're doing.
Yeah, but you can overdo it. Like, you could go and be overly paying for all those things and just be like you just know, like, when you see some of them, you're like, "Oh, they're just paying for that." They're just
Yeah,
overdoing it.
Yeah. The pay
yeah,
the pay to play is weird for me because if I'm watching somebody's podcast who has somebody on, I feel like they should have a relationship with that person. They're recommending this company to me that they have on their show. I want them to have them on their show because they actually believe in their company, not because they're paying them to have them on.
a company that I think comes to mind is a SodaCon, and
Oh, yeah.
but it
No, I
that
like it.
has
It's good
developed a
work.
community. Don't you think SodaCon has been really good at that? They hold their events. I don't know if you get their emails, but their emails are
They're
very
great.
clickable, very
Yes.
great. I love the way
Weird stuff. Like, it's cool. Like, they did a
it
good
is.
job with all their branding and, like yeah.
Yeah, you kinda they give you the feeling that you're missing out if you are not part of the group, and they've done that very well, very well.
You really have. That's a good brand they've created. Yeah, so we'll talk more about that stuff next week because, I mean, there's a few others out there, right?
But there's several that that are doing their marketing very well. They're creating a following. That's what you want. You want people dedicated to your brand. You want them following you, curious what you're up to, following your words on social media. What are they doing? What are they saying? Who are they talking to? Who are they associating with? It's all heavily strategized.
Does.
And can
And I'm
AI do that? Can AI strategize that for them? Let's
I
see
don't
how I
think
did that,
so.
Haley, for you. I put it full circle.
Thank you,
thank you.
Melissa.
Thank you for doing that. You guys always say it to me. No, and I'm like thinking because I know they're using AI. Like everyone's using it. So it's
Everybody's
like
using it.
but
Of course.
there's a level of it that they are so good at keeping that human part of it and making it, you know, it's not hurting their brand at all. If anything, it's gotten them so better. Like they've leveled up and they can be and do more, be more places and use yeah,
Yeah,
my
they're
mind.
probably using it as a tool to help them not directly. They probably didn't go to AI and say, "Here, build me this marketing strategy." They probably didn't say, "Here, write me this email," or, frame the topics for this event. They probably didn't do stuff like that, but they probably are using it as a tool to get things done faster.
Yes.
Which is just briefly, I was talking to a software developer the other day, and I asked her how AI has affected her work, and she said, "It's not really getting rid of jobs, it's making it so we have to get more done in shorter time periods because we work faster." That's probably similar to what they're doing. They're not using it as a voice to work out their strategy, but they're using it as a tool to get more done.
Well, in building the team too, I think they've done a really great job of pulling in people in certain areas that are really good and just like this great team. That's like that's a big difference too. Like it's not just one or two people. Like Kyle and Paul are like the face of it, but like their team is also part of it. Everyone's like the face of it, really. It's
Yeah.
yeah, they've done such a good job. So, good job to you guys. Excited.
Yeah. Kudos.
Good. We're talking about. Okay, so that was awesome. I love that I come onto this like full on just like here's what we're just gonna I don't know what we're gonna talk about. We're just gonna go with it. Because that's my style. So thank you guys and we look forward to talking about next week. We're gonna talk about what did we say? I forgot already.
It's
Branding?
up. Yep, we can do that, or, I think Melissa might pick something that she'd like to talk about.
Yeah,
No, I'm good with that. That's what we're going with.
we'll go with it. Okay.
I was gonna pick AI, but you picked it today, so we're good. We're good with picking it as we go.
Cool. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. Thank you.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Bye.